going from online CEGEP to in-person university is extremely hard.
Since the return of in-person learning, some Montreal students are having a hard time dealing with the transition from online to in the classroom. Some saying since their return back in person this year, there's been added pressure and little support for the transition away from remote learning.
I have many students telling me that they're finding it very hard to be in school, that they find that it's a lot of pressure being around people all the time.
With remote learning, students were able to take off their cameras and mute themselves to do another task, something that is no longer possible.
It does take a lot more, brain power to really focus and be in tune with what the professor is saying. Whereas a lot of the time before, you would just be able to rewatch the lecture recording.
There is that social awareness. And if they are to be distracted in class, for example, or being on the device or reading other sources of information while they're in their class, then all of a sudden they have an audience, right? People can see. That may affect, for example, focus, attention, concentration, because now you're having to show evidence of being solely focused.
I'm glad that a lot of CEGEP students now have that chance to be in person. I think it's definitely going to help, but yeah, it was ridiculous. It was definitely really tough.
For students, now there's a different level of expectation when attending classes in person, leaving many not able to handle the pressure of the work.
Way more students asking for postponements of deadlines, for exemptions from assignments.
There's also the whole notion of that perhaps when you are alone, the possibility of getting assistance or support or additional time.
Toby Monette, a CEGEP teacher, says she's seeing an increase of frustration, stress, and lack of participation in her classroom.
I like to go through my class once in a while and ask them how they're doing in one adjective. Every person say one adjective. And so many of them, whenever I do this now, so many of the answers are anxious, overwhelmed, pressured, and then a lot of the rest of the class is exhausted, fatigued, tired. Very few that aren't feeling one of those kind of heavy emotions, unable to cope.
Dr. Tina Montreuil says teachers can play a major role in helping students adjust.
The digital platform virtually was becoming now our norm. We were used to that, and students were used to that. So now going back into person, I think we have to exercise some level of understanding and flexibility that just as much as students needed to be supported to basically make that shift to virtual learning.
In Montreal, Felisha Adam, City News.